London, 1888. Whitechapel was one of the darkest corners of the world's growing capital, an overcrowded slum of broken families, cheap lodgings, disease, and survival at its most desperate. Alcohol flowed freely, money was scarce, and crime was part of nightly life. The narrow cobblestone streets were wrapped in thick fog from the Thames, and the dim glow of gas lamps barely pierced the darkness. Every shadow could hide danger, and soon, something far worse would emerge. In a place where poverty ruled and hope was scarce, a killer arrived who would terrify the world, a figure who struck silently and vanished without a trace. A name history would never forget: Jack the Ripper. Between August and November 1888, the district of Whitechapel saw a string of murders unlike anything London had ever faced. 5 women, now known as the Canonical Five, were brutally killed: Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Edways, Mary Jane Kelly. Each attack occurred in the dead of night, often within minutes of a police patrol having passed. The killer worked quickly, silently, and without hesitation. Investigators soon recognized the pattern. The injuries were too similar, too deliberate, and too anatomical to be random. Someone with skill, or horrifying precision, was behind it. But police faced a near impossible task. There were no fingerprints, no blood analysis, no DNA, not even modern crime scene photography. Detectives worked with nothing but observations, interviews, and instinct. From the very beginning, the investigation was already fighting a losing battle. As the killings continued, London's newspapers exploded with coverage. Illustrations, witness interviews, theories, and speculation filled every front page. The public became obsessed. Fear spread faster than the killer. People refused to walk alone at night. Residents stood guard with makeshift weapons. Some believed the murderer was a foreigner, others whispered that an educated gentleman was the real monster. Then came the letters. Police and newspapers began receiving taunting messages, some marked with blood-red ink, signed Jack the Ripper. Whether written by the killer or simply by attention seekers, it didn't matter. The name stuck, and the world had its first media-created serial killer identity. For the first time in history, crime, fear, and journalism collided in a storm that captivated the entire world. The police launched one of the biggest manhunts London had ever seen. They interrogated over 2,000 people, including doctors and surgeons, slaughterhouse workers, sailors, known criminals, and even members of the British aristocracy. Night after night, constables patrolled alleyways and markets, armed with lanterns and notebooks, hoping to catch the killer in the act. But the murderer was always one step ahead. He knew the streets, he blended with the crowds, and he left no trace behind. And then, just as suddenly as the nightmare began, the murders stopped. No final message, no body, no catcher, just silence and thousands of unanswered questions. Jack the Ripper was never caught. More than 135 years later, the case remains one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in criminal history. Over 100 suspects have been suggested, ranging from surgeons to artists, writers, and even members of the royal family. Modern researchers have attempted to re-examine the case using advanced profiling, DNA residue, and digital reconstructions. Yet still, no answer has been confirmed beyond all doubt. The case of Jack the Ripper changed forensic investigation, police organization, crime reporting, and the world's fascination with serial killers. But above all, it left us with a chilling reminder: sometimes, the most terrifying killer is the one who walks into the shadows and is never found again.